This was purpose at the time due to the incompleteness of our technology about the virtualization. The concept of the time sharing operation system was not reflected. And then in 1990s, we proposed grid computing. Grid computing is to integrate a large number of machines, a large number of my computer into a virtual super machine and publish it to people all over the world. To put it bluntly, it is a public computer service, which means that I integrate my machine, unused machine in a big machine for different people to use. To realize the technology, we need to use the virtualization technology. But because virtualization technology has not developed at the time, it has not been developed. So the concept of the grid computing is not known. And then the specific development of the cloud computing is in 1996, and it put forward the concept of the cloud computing. That is, the noun of the cloud computing was first proposed in 1996. And then in 2002, Amazon launched a service website we called AWS. The AWS is the first reset application service platform. It's a platform. In AWS, we can experiment shopping. And then after 2003, we say that the key technology of cloud computing is virtualization technology, which launched by our VMware company, which is a server virtualization technology. Then in 2006, Amazon launched a public cloud business, which is allowed an important application and model for cloud computing. The public cloud business, and then we say that user can log on to one of his public cloud to purchase the corresponding service. For example, like how much CPU do I want, or servers do I want, and so on. You can click on the purchase button, and according to your own need, you can buy which IT equipment. And then in 2010, we say that an organization in the United States, we call the Rackspace, launched an architecture we call the OpenStack architecture. The OpenStack architecture, it is an open source architecture. So why did it launch OpenStack? Because some architecture are closed source, also, public source is closed source. The OpenStack is mainly open source one to let everyone can use the model. Through this model to deploy their own local network. Now, OpenStack is a popular open source project now. And then after 10 years, public cloud was available. Then when did hybrid cloud come out? Come out in 2014. Then various enterprises began to deploy their own cloud, hybrid cloud, public cloud, and private cloud. Let's review and look at the development of the cloud, which is from one era to two, and then to the current three. First, the one era is an era of computing virtualization. It may call is Hyper-V, the Zen architecture, the KVM architecture, VMware EX architecture. It may feature this virtualization, and providing better utilization. Through virtualization, maybe some devices not able to be used, but after turning these old devices into new devices through data technology, they can. And that is it. And then in the two era, is software-defined integration. Here are the key core OpenStack, VMware, AWS, this open source project, and then it is characteristic by the infrastructure cloud, a resource pool standardized and automatic automation. That here is the resources as the core, right? Include this resource at the core, and I virtualize this resource, and I want to provide service around that. And then in the three era, has changed. It is refactoring the business as the core technology, like the Docker, like CoreOS, CrowdFoundry. It is mainly based on the virtualized application and life cycle management as the core. So it's basically apps at the core, right? From 1 to 2 and 3. It was virtualization at Coral, resource and Coral, and finally the application at Coral. Now that we have seen development of the whole process, let's take a look at what are the service provider. It is the content of the second chapter, crowd service provider. This provider content is mainly for Chinese domestic and enterprise, and because I'm Chinese. The cloud computing service provider, first of all, we divided cloud computing into public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. The first, the first public cloud is an important service type in cloud computing. Large, large enterprise deploy public clouds for some of user to use. This enterprise included globally famous like Amazon AWS, which is providing elastic computing cloud and simple storage like S3 and elastic block storage and relational database service. In this regard, it's elastic block storage and simply server storage. Normally speaking, they provide server to you. And our enterprise buy the server from it, as well as virtually servers and storage purchase from them. Then there's Microsoft Azure, which are relatively similar products, such as the Office 365 product we normally use, which is an important product launched by the Microsoft, as well as some enterprise software and online development tools. For example, the Amazon's AWS can provide application service, mobile service, and entertainment service, and so on. Microsoft can also provide many services, and its main product is a development platform under Azure, on which we can develop many like software, or the platform provides some development environmental for us to develop our software. This is a globally famous public cloud provider. And there are also some public cloud providers such as like Google, which we call the GCE and IBM soft layer. What are the specific product? If you care, you can log on to their official website and have a check. They actually provide a lot of service, and there's also many Chinese cloud service providers such as our famous like Ali Cloud, Tencent Cloud, Baidu Cloud, and Huawei Cloud, and so on. Let's take a look at some Chinese providers such as Ali Cloud, right? Its service included computing service, storage service, and database, and so on. I just list two here. A cloud computing server and a lightweight servers is their computing service. The computing service mainly provides some basic IT facilities for our enterprise. For example, if we want to buy the server, we can buy the cloud server ECS. It may be a small enterprise, and I only need a little application. As long as I want security management, operation and maintenance management, I can buy the lightweight server, right? Then cloud server provide a set of elastic service to reduce the cost of the building IT equipment for enterprise. The lightweight server provided an application for the single server, such as our application deployment and the security management. It's relatively lightweight, such as the function are not as much as the cloud server ECS.